my tubies. It's me, Sheila True Love, here making another video here with you. And today we're going to talk about how narcissism is an epidemic. It has become an epidemic. Yes, it has. Anyway, I wanted to make this live video with you so you can see that I do look at least close to my pictures. I don't have the makeup thing going on and the eyelashes going on. But hey, it is me, Sheila True Love, and I'm truly here loving you. And let's get started. We are going to be talking about talking with the red table talk. These are some, it's from the Black Hollywood Live channel, and they are talking about the red table talk. I don't know if you're familiar with it, with Will Smith's wife, Jada Pickett. She has the red table talk that goes on, and they have numerous topics for conversation that they address. And one of the topics that they address is narcissism, which was so interesting. So we have these two younger individuals who's going to share their take on the red table talk. So without further ado, let's get it started.
Wow.
Hey.
Wow.
Hey.
Hold on.
I mean, if this chair wasn't in the way, we could really make it happen.
It never gets old. Welcome, you guys. This is the Red Table Talk After Show. I am just one of your hosts, Tyler Simone. And to my left, I have the one, the only,
The Tyler Tyson. What's up, y'all? What's up, Black Hollywood Live, Red Table Talk family? What's going on?
Yes, here we are again.
Here we are again.
Yes. How's your Monday?
My Monday was great.
Good.
I feel like this show is like the perfect fit for my Monday. My Mondays are usually stress-free. This show, for the most part, is stress-free, and it just gives you a whole hour to just talk about whatever. So I love Mondays.
Good. This was a good episode.
Absolutely.
One of my favorites to date, which is hard to say because there's been a lot of good ones.
There's been a lot. I don't know if it's my fave. It might be.
Maybe?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because we were talking before we started and you said it's not too heavy. We can enjoy it. We can learn, but it's still good. It keeps you intrigued.
It was the perfect mix of like a little deepness, but then not too deep that you go into tears and depression, but it's still not a throwaway episode. Like, it's perfect.
Yes, I agree. So this episode is all about narcissism. We had Dr. Ramani on the panel, which was amazing. She was great.
Yeah.
I learned a lot from her. She's so passionate when she speaks that I was all in the whole time.
Same.
Yeah. So before they even sat down at the red table, Jada said that she feels she might have some narcissistic traits. I was like, okay, all right. But that's me thinking that narcissism is believing that everything is about you and the world revolves around everything, having to do with you. What did you think narcissism was before the episode started?
So, I mean, obviously, I still kind of think the bulk of it is, but I didn't think it was as deep as it goes. Like most people just thought it was about, if you're just so self-absorbed and everything is about you, you have to make every story about you. You use the word I more than you use we and us and like anything collective.
So we have to be very careful with our sentences when we're talking about just a major conversation and you're using more of the word I instead of we. That makes you got to be suspect of being narcissist. I don't tend to agree with that because, I don't know. I just don't. So anytime I start a sentence going forward, I have to say, so we feel like bap, bap, bap. And we could all play that game. Whatever.
Was pretty much my scope of what narcissism was.
Same here. I felt like it was just someone who was really self-centered. Like you said, it's deeper than that. Let's talk a little bit about the characteristics. So, one, they have no empathy towards other people.
That's right.
And I feel like that comes from them feeling like it's all about them to the point where they don't even hear or see anyone else and anyone else's struggles.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yes.
That is definitely the number one trait of a narcissist, is that they don't have empathy for other people. They don't care how they hurt other people. They don't give it a second thought. In fact, that's the number one reason why they wake up in the morning, is to see what damage they could do to other people. They have no empathy. They don't know how to put themselves in another person's place. You know, comes to cheating, when it comes to um, people treating you good and you treat them poorly. Narcissists don't care. I don't think that I have to break it down to my tubies in terms of what empathy is. You're able to identify. You're able to feel other people's pain. You're able to say to myself, wow, I could imagine if that were happening to me. I know damn well I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me. So there's no way I could possibly ever do that to another person. That's a person who has empathy. Okay? Personally, me, myself, or let me not say me or I, okay, we, no, me, I could never be a narcissist, tubies, even if I tried on my best day. My Venus is in Pisces. I could never be a narcissist, even if I gave it my best shot. And I'm a go-getter. I set goals and I achieve it. If I even achieve to be a narcissist, I could never be that, because that's not who I am. That's one thing I can admit I'm incapable of doing or being.
It's hard not to be empathetic. I feel a little too empathetic.
I know I struggle. I'm definitely on your side. I'm a little too empathetic at times. I know so many narcissistic people. But I don't think, there's degrees to everything. So I think that even with the people that I know that are narcissistic, they might not be an extreme version to the point where they don't have empathy. Most people I know, they have empathy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do have different degrees of narcissism. You have some people who are full blown, and you have some who just have the trait of narcissism. The ones that are like Gregory, he was not a full blown narcissist, whereas my ex-husband Robert, he was full blown narc. He was full blown. So there are different degrees to narcissism, and I think I'm not going to even say to some extent we all have a touch of narcissism in us. Not really. Not really. Wish I could elaborate more on that, but no, not really. No.
There might be one or two that I came to realize at some point, oh, you really don't have much empathy.
Yeah.
They have one of those versions that I'm sure you'll talk about where it was like they have empathy, but only so that the camera is on them. Exactly. And they still focus on the point that they're caring about something. Yep.
Which is so scary. That's scary.
Yeah.
How does your mind go there? It seems like it's just a lot of energy. That's just putting out. It's too much work.
Why can't people just be normal? Why do we have to be on either side? Why do you have to be on the side where you're insecure and you have self-esteem issues, or you're a narcissist? Why can't you just be in the middle?
Right. I don't know, honestly. You're asking the wrong person.
But I will say, what Jada talked about, being in entertainment, yes. And she was like, to some degree, if you're in entertainment, you are a narcissist, or you have narcissistic traits if you're in this industry. And that part I think is true. But I also, the counter to that is, I think, as I said, that there are degrees, but I also think that there are some of us, I'm one of these people, that I have a hard time talking about myself. Mm-hmm. I'm like Willow in the sense that I would much rather talk about you than talk about me. I'm an interviewer. I like to interview, learn from you.
Same.
What can I learn to fix whatever's going on over here? I'm not one of those people that's just going to sit,
I'm this.
To be honest with you, I hate to use the word I. At the same time, my preference is, I'm trying not to use the word I, because they got you all walking on eggshells again. You got to be afraid to use the word I, because now all of a sudden we seem narcissistic. You know what? I ain't got time for all that. But I am the type of person who I prefer to talk about you as well. I really do. That's why I enjoy table topics. That's why anytime I go on a date with anyone, I always have my table topics right here on my notebook, and I put it on, and I have my table topic questions, and it's always asking questions so that I could get to know you. However, you have a lot of people that don't like that. They feel like you're being intrusive. You're trying to set them up. Why are you asking me so many questions? I'm trying to get to know you better. And I do prefer to listen to you talk about yourself more than I would prefer talking about myself. I just prefer that. I have never been an attention addict. Never in my life, ever. That's why, like I said in some of my other channels, nah, I always wear shades when I go out a lot of the times. Or when I go into a certain place, I'll wear shades. I'm from New York, the Bronx, Manhattan, the Boogie Down, whatever. We do whatever the hell we want to do. It doesn't matter whether it's at nighttime. I'm from the city, baby, and we do what we want. So I usually wear the shades because it causes people not to give you attention. It causes people to look away from you. And yeah, when I go on dates, I prefer to hear, what motivates you. I want to hear about things that I can, maybe I can learn a couple of things from you, Talk to me about you. And a lot of people are not comfortable with that, believe it or not.
Annoys the living.
True.
It's annoying.
That is a conversation's ender. Like, I will end the conversation if you start doing that. I will just walk away.
Right.
I can't.
It's you either walk away or you zone out because they're talking your ear off and you don't know how to get out. Don't you hate when you can't get out of a conversation?
I hate when I zone out. I will zone out in a heartbeat. So I hate it.
So what they're saying is that they tend to zone out and they're ready to end the conversation the moment the person is ready to talk about me, yeah, that can cause a person to lose interest. Like I like to do the table topics thing though, because the questions that they ask is similar to this. Let me give you an idea. So yeah, some of the questions that I have for table topics are my number one question that I usually ask, and I really want a legitimate answer to, is if you were to start your own business, if you had the money, the resources to start your own business, what would that business be? I'm curious about that. Or what do you want out of life? What's the one thing you would like to change about yourself? What makes you feel accomplished? What's your favorite book or your favorite movie? Because as you know, that tells a lot about a person, Um, and after you tell me what is your favorite book or your favorite movie, I want to know, why did it speak to you so much? Why did it inspire you so much? Why did you like it so much? Another question that I like to ask, because like I said, it's not about me, I like to ask you the question because I'm trying to get to know you better. Would you ever take back someone who cheated on you? Another question, if you are in a bad mood, do you prefer to be left alone or have someone come along and try to cheer you up? How about this one? It's a cute one. If a genie granted you 3 wishes right now, what would you wish for? That's fun. You see, these are not intrusive questions like if you're on an interview and you're at a job interview. These are fun questions. It's just questions to get you to start to talk about you. Because I don't want it to be all about me. You understand what I'm saying, Tubies?
And that will make me zone out.
Yes,
because my attention will just, there's something else.
And the crazy part is, you would think that people would see the way your face changes, that you're not into the conversation, but they just keep
They're
going.
So into themselves that they have no idea that you have checked out of this conversation.
That's wild.
Yes.
That's not good. Okay. So besides that, they're very entitled. They're arrogant. They seek validation, which
that freaks me out. I can always tell narc. And even if they're not full-blown narc, you constantly have to have outside validation. Like women, a lot of these females, they need some dude to validate them, to make them feel like they're worth something, to make them feel like, I don't even know. They have to have this validation. They have to have this constant attention thing going on. Validate me. I don't need nobody to validate me. I have a mirror. I have videos of myself. I have pictures. I know the difference between what's attractive and what's not. I don't need nobody coming along telling me this. I already know who I am. I know what I stand for. I know what I believe in. I know what I will tolerate and what I won't. I know my boundaries. But people who need this outside validation, that's definitely, yeah, issues. Personally, that I really don't have time for.
She was rambling off of all of these characteristics. Multiple people were popping up in my head.
Of course. Same.
Most of the people.
However, I will say, not to pick on my friend to my right, but I just knew when she was rattling off these definitions, I was like, oh, Tyler is stopping and pausing and rewinding because she is writing down all of this.
I got them all. I got
there
the list.
There are 3 pages over here. So I knew, listen, I know my people. I know my people. You knew it. I knew it.
You know me so well.
And of course, I'm going to copy and take a picture. So.
I had to. There's just so much to learn.
Yeah.
Okay, so she also said that this is a clinical mental illness, which blew me away. I didn't know that it was that serious. Like you said, didn't know it was that deep. But as far as being diagnosed for it, I'm wondering if that's something you don't go to a doctor for it, or
that's normally something that you would go into the therapist for help with one problem that you're having. And while you are speaking with the therapist, they will be making an assessment of you, taking an assessment. And along with them listening to you and studying you, they come to realize that, yeah, this person has narcissistic disorder. It's a disorder that you're not born with. This narcissistic disorder, it comes from things that have happened to you in your life that you weren't able to get past. Like, we have all had some awful things happen to us in life. We've all had it. But some of us know how to rise above it. You know what I'm saying? Some of us know how to say, you know what? That's what happened then when I didn't have any power or control. But now I'm in the driver's seat right now. You see what I'm saying? So that's all that matters. I'm not going to let this world change me or mold me into their mold, into something hateful, into something with no empathy, no compassion, gaslighting people, projection, all this other crazy nonsense. I'm not going to let the world do that to me. Because even though bad things happen to me, I have enough common sense to say that was something I had no control over. But now I do. So with the narcissist, it's a different thing. Something happened to them so tragic that it just totally distorted their brain, and it just screwed them up. And in order for a narcissist to be healed, they have to go through like 10, 20 years of extensive therapy in order to get past that. That's why they say narcissists never change. So when they try to come back into your life, no, because they never change. They don't change. If they haven't had 10, 15, 20 years of extensive therapy, no, baby. They're the same old way because their brain has become disfigured. It's disfigured. It's just twisted and it's disfigured because they didn't know how to bounce back. They didn't know. They let this world get the best of them. How sad is that?
Is that like a self-diagnosis?
I mean, I guess technically you would. Maybe if you go to therapy just for something else.
Yeah.
And then in your therapy session, that may come out. And then it's like, oh, you need to work on this.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone, because a narcissist, I don't think even knows that they're narcissistic.
Right.
They don't even know that there's a problem that needs to be tended to. I have some people that I know. I'm trying to not put other people's business in the street. So I'm going to try to blur the lines a little bit. But I know some people that really struggle with keeping friends, really struggle with maintaining healthy relationships with friends because they turn every situation about them. They never want to come to your place. They want everyone to come to their place.
Exactly. They turn everything about them. And I'm going to tell you something, honey. If you ever run into people who got their moon in Cancer, they're going to turn everything to be about them. They do have a hard time sustaining friendships because they are too sensitive. They think everyone is trying to come attack them. They do try to make everything about them. They just do it. I'm trying to say it as nicely as I know how, because Sheila True Love, I'm a straight shooter. So for me to sit up here and try to sugarcoat words, I got to find the words I got to find words to try to soften my approach. And it's hard for me to do that because I just rather just come out and say how I feel, say it for what it is. Because me sitting up here trying to find a nice way to say this, let me see. The people who have the moons in Cancer, let me see how I could talk to them like a child pretty much, but okay, they don't need to hear that part. But for those who have the moon in Cancer, yeah, you can be a little overly sensitive, and maybe you should look into that. Yeah, everything is not people trying to attack you. People are not necessarily trying to criticize you or put you down. People are just basically trying to have a conversation, or people are just trying to, I don't know, maybe bring some things to your attention that you may not be aware of. And I know you can't possibly be so arrogant to think that there are not some things that even you have to improve on. And when people are bringing things to your attention, they're not trying to hurt you. They're not. So I'm hoping that I'm addressing this as sensitively as I can. Oh God, this is a chore for me to talk like this. When I just could come out, bam, straight shooter, let you know what's up, really. But of course, you're going to be hurt and you're going to feel attacked. So we have to watch that. Yeah. God, somebody shoot me, please.
Anytime there's a conversation, it's always about they want to use, I hate the word use, but they want to use you to gain more Instagram followers, get access to this party, have access to this celebrity, fill in the blank. But it still all comes back to them. Like, they really honestly can't do their job to the best of their ability because they're focused more so on themselves than on their clients.
Yeah.
But once again, some of these people will never know that they even have this issue.
Yeah.
Because they still they have a rotation of friends. So it's like they can't keep, like if you and I were friends, it's not going to be a 20-year friendship. It might be 5 to 10 years, but then you're going to exit, somebody else is going to enter.
Yeah.
And
after I heard that, I had to stop and think, my friendships, I've had my girlfriend Teresa, we've been friends for over 37 years. And then I have my girlfriend Samara Morin. We've been connected since we got connected. We talk FaceTime all the time. We do movies together. We're looking at breakfast together. We're doing everything together. We laugh together. This is over 30 years of friendships. And then I have my friend Dale, who I've known him like forever. But when you have people who are narcissistic and people who are overly sensitive, they have this rotation of people. Rotation. They can't seem to hang on to anyone. So what's the common denominator here? They never take time to say, what's the common denominator why I can't seem to, keep friendships? Should I step back outside of myself and take an inventory of myself? And I'm not trying to say you need to second guess your intuition, or like God knows my son Hugo, you want me to second guess my intuition. You're trying to get me to be confused. No. You know what? That's a whole new video, because taking everything out of context, I don't want in case my kids see this, I don't want them to take things out of context, and they will take it out of context. They'll do, you know what? Let's listen. Forget it. Woo!
There's always this cycle of friends coming and going. They, of course, aren't homeless or anything, so they're able to feed themselves and make a great life. So they're just not seeing the issue.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like usually if you hit rock bottom and then you're like, oh, well, what's wrong? But if everything's great, how do you even know that there's an issue?
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what all I'm trying to say. I say, I pray that Jehovah God, Yahweh, Jehovah, please let them have to live from paycheck to paycheck. Please. Let them, they got the money, they got the cars, they got this, they got that. How the hell are they going to step back to see what the issue is? When they need to go through some hardship financially. Hit them in the pocket. That's the way to get my son and my daughter to wake up. Hit them in the pocket. That's it.
How do people bring it up to you?
They don't.
Yeah,
because you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings.
You don't. And they don't seem to be receptive to you trying to point these things out to them, because once again, it's all about them. They don't do anything wrong. You can't argue with these people.
That's right.
Which is why it's so hard to even bring it up and say, hey, you know, you're a little bit of a narcissist.
You're a little bit.
Tad bit. Yeah. So that seems really, really hard. She did say that at the core, because I don't know how the people that you feel might be narcissists on the outside, are they really confident? Are they entertaining? Because she said that that's something that happens.
There are 3 people that came to mind immediately, and they're all different.
Yeah.
One is a serious extreme that plays more of one of the more dangerous versions of narcissism that I'm sure you'll address.
Yeah.
And it's the one where they come across super confident.
Mm-hmm.
They love to be the center of attention. If they do go out of their way to do something, there has to be a camera crew involved. Everything is for the gram. Everything is for likes and follows. And on the face of it, everyone thinks that they're just the nicest, sweetest person.
Yeah, it's true. Like, you have some people, like on their Instagram, they got to have the perfect camera. They got to have this airbrush. They have to have the perfect filters. They have to have the perfect. You know how Sheila True Love do her video, honey. I keep it real. I when I want to do certain things, I have to hold the camera up. I have to do it like that, because my main concern is not how good it looks. The message is what's important to me, not how professional this looks. I want you to get the message. And like I have told my tubies in some of my previous videos, my moon is in Leo. Now, many people will say that with a moon in Leo, you always want attention, attention, attention. And that's where Leos are misunderstood. They really are. Because a Leo likes attention for when they do a job. Like, if I do a good job on something, if I work on something, like let's say I wrote my book, right? I got my book out here. Yeah, I do want to be appreciated, and I do want the attention for my book. But just to walk around saying, oh, I want attention just for the hell of it when I go outside, look at my body, look at how fabulous I am, just look at me, I need attention, I deserve the attention. Nah, Leos ain't like that. No, Leos want attention for when they do hard work, just like any normal human being. They want the people to appreciate it. And that's where the attention, that's where it stops with me. I can't speak with everyone else, but you have to keep in mind my sun, Capricorn, my moon, Leo, my Mercury, the way I think, is Capricorn. So all of this, having to have all this attention, my Capricorn cuts that down extremely. And don't forget, my Venus is in Pisces, baby. I'm not no attention addict where I got to have all this extra attention. No. But if I work hard and I do something, yeah, I do want to be noted for it. I do. That's the kind of attention that I appreciate. I really do.
In the world.
Yeah.
And it doesn't hurt the fact that they are extremely attractive to most. Most people would find this individual extremely attractive. But the flip side of all of that is there's really no comparison. Unless you are part of the ongoing circus that is feeding their narcissism, once you aren't in that, you're now the enemy. And so now everything is turned against you and they try to make your life a living hell. So
that's true. If you're not sitting up here feeding a narcissist ego, blowing smoke up there behind, you're great, you're fabulous. Oh my God, you are amazing. You are the best thing since the slice of bread. You are such a good person. You are such a, fair individual. If you're not doing that, constantly telling them that, and you're telling them something that's real, you're attacking them. Why are you attacking me? What's wrong with you? What have you been doing? What? Oh, God. Oh, seek help. Really. Take an assessment on yourself.
That's one of them.
That's the worst.
The other ones are not as extreme.
Okay.
The other ones, yeah, they like to be the center of attention. Yes, they like to be the connector that makes all the parts flow and work. But at the same time, they're still compassionate. They're still nice. They're still all of those great things. The one that I was explaining about not even knowing, that individual is more so on the other side also, where that individual is also extremely nice and it's not coming from a malicious state at all. So it's just like 3 degrees. Like they're all just different.
Yeah. And there's a couple of different.
I almost gave it away. I was trying. At the end, I almost gave out like just too many specific details. Yeah. I had to catch myself.
Good job. Whew. Yes, there are definitely multiple types of narcissists, like we learned. But what's confusing to me is, how do you distinguish a narcissist from someone who's just attention seeking? Because there are people on Instagram who do things for likes. With women, they pose mostly nude, guys too. And guys, you're right. Guys too, for sure.
I've taken my shirt off for the ground.
You've taken your shirt off quite a few times.
Wait a minute.
But you're not I don't feel like
it's not. No, I'm not a narcissist at all.
But yes, I don't believe that you are a narcissist.
And I do understand where they're going with that, in terms of some people are just doing it for attention seeking. But when you're seeking attention at the expense of other people, you're a narcissist. You're sitting up there, women being half naked, men pulling off their clothes half naked. You see, that's where you lack empathy, because you have other people's husbands out here, other people's partners out here, other people's women out here, what have you. And you have to be mindful, of having other people sit around lusting after you. I don't know if I don't know if I know how to express this clearly, but it's like females who walk down the street half naked. It's okay to have some cleavage, like some cleavage showing. But when you have almost all of your stuff hanging out except for your nipples, you don't care. You don't have any empathy at all about the other woman out here who have her husband out here. Her husband who's trying to be respectful to his wife or to his partner, but you have all of these women who are half naked. They can't help but look over here and look over there. If they look over here, she's half naked. If they look over there, they're half naked. And for the guys, really, you are narcissistic anytime you don't have no regard for how other people feel or how you're hurting. How about that? How you're hurting other people, how you're damaging relationships. Put some clothes on. You want to get dressed like that? Save that for behind closed doors. Save that for your man. And if you don't have a man, maybe that's pretty much why, because you dress like a hoe. You're conducting yourself like a streetwalker. No, that's certain ways that you need to dress to keep that behind closed doors, sweetheart. Because you have to take into consideration other people have their partners out here. Just like, to give you an illustration, if I was your girlfriend and my body's slamming, I mean hot, and I come over to your house and I know you got your husband in the house, and I come over to your house and I have on this really short skirt or really short dress and I'm bending down all in front of your husband, I got this hanging out with almost everything showing but my nipples. Do you want a woman like that around your husband? But keep in mind, I'm your friend. I'm your girlfriend. I don't want your man. But you still don't want that type of female parading around your husband, because he's a man. You know what I mean? Just like a man, he's not going to want no other dude coming around his wife or his woman wearing biker shorts and his shalong hanging big erect on the side of his leg. Or with he's got these women beater shirts on, and he's muscular like that, and he got washboard abs. He's not going to want no half naked man around his woman. No, he's not going to want that, because 1, it's inappropriate. 2, it's constant temptation. 3, it's wrong. And that's the same thing when it comes to these people on this Instagram, half naked. They're doing all of this just for attention, not for a 1 minute. Are they thinking about what this may be having an effect on other people's partners? Save that for behind closed doors for you and your partner, whoever. You know what I'm saying?
But there are people you can just tell, you can feel it. It's very consistent, and they just reek of attention seeking. But what's the difference between that and then being a narcissist? Because someone who wants attention on Instagram may also still be empathetic. They may still be...
How empathetic are you when you don't care about the effect that you're having on other people? How empathetic are you? You're not that empathetic, then, are you?
A good listener.
So for the most part, I think most of the time, and I look at social media as not real.
Yeah.
A lot of people look at social media as it is the Bible. Like if you post it on social media, it really happened exactly how it looks and all of that. Where I really wish people would see and treat social media like you do a TV show. It's just another platform to watch content that is created.
Yeah.
Please understand. I mean, look at what you do for your own social media. None of us post a picture without making sure things don't look right. Sometimes you add a filter. Sometimes you do it even a little breeze over with Photoshop or something. We make sure our videos look a certain way. Make sure what's in the background of this video. Like everything is super produced.
No, everything is not super produced. As you see, Sheila True Love's videos are not super produced. You see I'm in my home. You got the real me. There's no airbrushing, no phototyping, no putting yellow and lighting. No, it's me. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Because my main objective is to get the message across. I've never been a shallow and superficial person. Isn't the most important thing when people are making these YouTube videos, isn't it supposed to be to help other people? At least that's what I thought it was when I started this project. Actually, I started this project for my son and my daughter. So if I'm not here on this earth and I'm dead and gone, they always have access to their mom. Just press a button and I'm right there with you. That's my main objective for really starting all of this YouTube stuff. And writing books for my son and my daughter. When I'm dead and gone, you always have access to mom. See? Picture of mom. There you go. I'm right there with you still. But for all this photo shoot, whatever. No, not really. Not really. Unless you're doing it just for, you're an attention addict. I'm not into it for that, baby. Not really. No, not at all.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
So nobody should take it as
Bible,
yeah.
Like you said.
But I kind of lost my thought.
It's
where I was going with
you were
that.
just saying, like, as far as...
Okay, so anyway, that's the end of that. And it was telling you pretty much what was going on with the Red Table Talk. And when it comes to narcissists, how they definitely, it is an epidemic. And you have to be very, very careful when you're dealing with people. And keep in mind that everyone is not a full-blown narc. Some of them have narcissistic traits. I don't want no part of nothing narcissist. I don't want nothing to do with none of it. I just don't. If you can't be a full-blown empath or just be a human being, how about that? Like Jesus said, just treat people the way you want to be treated. We don't need to complicate things. Like I said, I'm a straight shooter, straight. We ain't got to sugarcoat, dance around it. Just treat people the way you want to be treated. And anytime you feel that you're putting more energy into a person and they're not putting that same energy into you, it's time for you to dead that. You're willing to listen to them. Like me, I'm a good listener. I'm an excellent listener. But when I see that when it's my time to talk and the person's not willing to listen to me or they don't care about how I feel, that's when I start to like back up. I fall back. True love will fall back because this person is not putting as much energy into me as I'm putting into them. No. And lately, I have even become that way when it comes to my son and my daughter. And normally, I would never do that when it comes to them. But I can't keep giving, and they keep, I'm not doing it. I'm tired. I'm just tired. And I'm sure that you have had relationships, not speaking of your children only, but friendships, and even when it comes to your partner or someone you're dating, you're just tired. You're constantly giving, and they write books, and you read all of their books. You write one book, and they can't even seem to get through it. They have a channel. You look at every single thing that they post. You have a channel. They don't give a damn. They can't even tell you what you made yesterday or today or the next day. You're taking more interest in them and putting more energy into them, and they're not putting no energy into you. Nothing. You're into and interested in what's going on in their life. They don't give a damn about what's going on in yours. You know what that means? It's time to fall back. Let's fall back, because these people they don't care about you, baby. They don't care about you. Not really. Anyway, this is Sheila True Love, truly loving you. And as always, life, as you know, you always have a choice. The choice is always yours. And until next time, I'll see you on the other side. Bye.